Good afternoon, everyone, and hello. This is Zoltan again, and Shahriar. Again, we are doing a short discussion where I'm basically interviewing Shahriar on his insights and on his viewpoints on project management, being an internationally acclaimed expert and a trainer in the subject area. And today we aim to talk about the four main competencies of a development project manager. So this is what we're going to be discussing, and yeah, let's dive right into it.
Okay, I think, yeah, definitely. Well, I would say competencies can apply anywhere. So because what Zoltan mentioned is that we are focusing more on development projects, and we talked about PMD Pro. So there are defined competencies within PMD Pro. We'll talk about that. So let's just to recap, a project is a temporary endeavor to deliver a unique service, product, or result. You have a specific scope. You have goals, different levels of objectives, and you have given time and resources. So what is then project management? Project management is simply the discipline of managing, controlling, and making sure the planning, managing and controlling of the resources to make sure that your project goals are achieved, your project objectives are achieved, you deliver the scope as agreed, within the time, within the budget that's given. So that's the purpose, or that's what project management is about. So in terms of that, like any job, you would see there are some competencies needed, defined. It's like, okay, what are the key competencies needed? So project management being a established profession and career track, there are competencies defined. And within the PMD Pro, there are four, you mentioned that, yes, four competencies that are defined. So the first one is technical. And sometimes technical may sound like, is it an engineer, is it a doctor, or is it like a water sanitation technical? Not really. Technical refers to project management technical. So there are particular things, and on that there is discussion. This is, by the way, the PMD Pro guide, Project Management for Development Professionals. So this is the body of knowledge equivalent, for PMD Pro, and this, basically this information you can find here.
Certification handbook.
Yeah. So great foundation knowledge, source of foundation knowledge. And in terms of the four competency areas going back, so technical is about project management technical, like, are you able to plan the project well? Are you confident about choosing the right tool, what to use for data collection, for data analysis, how to manage the stakeholder, engage the stakeholder, what tool could you use for monitoring and evaluation, or what should be included in a project charter. So all those sort of things, and this is about technical. And then the next level is personal or leadership, because that's a skill that everybody needs in any job and many management. So that's an area of technical competency, leadership. And then another is about personal or self-management, like, is the project manager able to manage his time or her time, or organize things and prioritize as needed. So this is within that competency area. And then another one is about development sector specific. So we talked about in a previous video about how development projects are unique. Yes. So those challenges and those things, I mentioned some tools as well. I mean, whether you know that different donor organization or development partners have different policies, different ways they work. So those are development specific, or even culture. I mean, Zoltan mentioned that cultural aspect, like working with multiple ethnicity and cultures, people from different countries and nationalities and all that. So that requires a particular level of competence to deal with all those. So these are the four specific competency areas, and there are a number of elements listed in the PMD Pro guide. You can look in for more details. And why are these important? So this can give you to start looking at what you need to build up. So for example, the PMD Pro guide is about really building up your technical competency, just to clarify, because it doesn't cover how to be a great leader. I mean, we may share something later about how to be a project leader, but on this it covers more like the technical aspect. How do you manage the scope? How do you manage the time within the project? How do you manage resources? How do you manage risk? How do you manage stakeholders?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you manage project justification? It's like, why should your project be continued? Things like that. So these are called disciplines, basically tools within project management, and those competencies help you to do that. Like the technical competencies and what is included in the guide helps you to learn those tools and techniques and processes that you can use to ensure that your project is managed in using the best practices which are proven and tried and tested. Yes, I mean, you could do something and kind of figure it out, maybe trial and error, but wouldn't you say that's the benefit of having the...
It can cost a lot of money.
Cost a lot of
time.
money, fantastic, yes, lots of money.
You can waste a lot of resources that way.
By the time you figure it out, your project budget might finish, yes?
Yeah, exactly.
And then, you know, oh my God, I don't have
Best to have money. The skills and then...
Yeah, so basically then make sure that you can deliver the project. And unfortunately, many people working in project sector, you will see that they don't apply this. I mean, some of them they know but don't apply, just doing things in old way, and that has an impact. That's a negative impact.
Yeah, definitely. And imagine, especially in the development sector, which is the sector that is shaping the world. It aims to make the world a better place.
Yeah, changing the world.
If we were all certified in project management, or skilled, let's put it that way, in project management, just imagine how much money would the sector save. How much resources would the sector save? How much time would it save? How much this could accelerate sustainable development, for example.
Definitely,
it would have a massive impact if people would have the necessary skills to manage development projects better.
Let us, I think,
on a global scale.
Yeah, let's talk about a simple example. Like one of the things in the project management, like in PMD Pro and other project management methodology as well, you learn about project planning, designing projects. So one of the first thing or a very important thing discussed on these PMD Pro, project management courses we deliver, we talk about designing project well. And the fact is that if you design a project well, that could cost you lots of money. I have seen projects in public sector where they spend billions of dollars, and unfortunately afterwards they need to change something, and that costs them a lot of money. So that's because the project was designed poorly. So these are some of the reasons you need to have great competence for project planning and delivery and management.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah? Right. Thank you very much, Shariar.
Thank you very much. So
I think that's it for today's video.
That's it, yes, yeah. Stay tuned for next one, yeah.
Definitely stay tuned for next video.
We'll talk about, projects, some of the tools we referred to today, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
In the meantime, if you have any questions or comments, as usual, drop them below, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.